Alright, so we're back with part two. We've strung the wire on the greenhouse frame. I guess probably it's more of a low tunnel where we're going to put the seeds to germinate. And just 4 wires. Front 2 wires are lower than the back 2. We'll end up raising these up if and when the plants are, if it's not warm enough to put them out and they're too large. And then the back side, about 15, 16 inches off the ground, and then on both the front and back we have a single wire on the ground, single wire on the other ground, and again you'll see how that's going to work. Over here are the tension devices. Alright, so now it's time to start sheathing in the greenhouse, and that's where the magic happens. Okay, so I have some Panda film. Normally I would put that down, or some landscape fabric, but since we're in the recycling type of mindset, we're gonna use, this is actually the black fabric from a mattress cover that I just saved because it looked like I used it for something, and now here we are. So I'm gonna slit it down the middle, and then we'll lay that down over the part of the greenhouse that we're going to be firing up. Again, this is kind of longer, and when we start, we're only going to be heating that small little 4-foot section, and then as we start putting other things out, we'll extend it out, and you'll see how we can do that all with one roll of plastic. Okay, so I slit that black, basically the landscape fabric, and nicely just going to go up to the front edge of the greenhouse, and it's going to lap over here. I'm going to binder clip it to those back wires, as you'll see in a moment. Okay, so we just went ahead and pulled the black plastic under that bottom wire to hold it nice and square. I also just set this on it while I was pulling it. Okay, and then we'll end up, I don't know, probably this is a little shorter. You could landscape fabric stake it, but this I may actually just tape it down there. I may just set it actually. Once I get stuff on there, it's not going to matter. And then the binder clips, I'm sure there's something fancy that you can use to attach things, but the small binder clip size works nice. Just fold it over, holds real good. All right, now next thing to do is we'll go ahead and put the plastic over so you can see how that works. Okay, so this is just $10 plastic sheeting. You could probably buy some greenhouse plastic if you wanted to. This is not specific for greenhouse sheeting. So it's a 25-foot roll by 10. So I'm actually going to use it widthwise instead here. So first we're going to thread it before I spread it out. It'll make it a little bit easier. Okay, so the way I'm going to thread it is over the back. Okay, so I got the roll left there with the excess. Then I'm going to pull it over that top wire, over the front top wire, then down under the front wire. I'm going to pull out enough that I can then also fold it back. And then once I have that, I'll make the clip. What that'll do is I am getting 2 layers. In fact, I'm a little bit short on my wire pieces because it would be nice to have 2 more up a little bit higher, and then I can get a little air gap in there. And then on the corners, we're just going to take a piece of rigid foam insulation, insulate that corner. Or I may do it just with plastic, I'm not sure which. Okay, so I have pulled through enough plastic that now I'm going to have both the top and the bottom with enough that I can anchor it with a board just to lay it across, because as you're going to see, that's going to end up being the open and close function on the door. One detail on the tightening functions, you may need to take and cover the protruding wire with duct tape or something to keep it from splitting. Then also, if you take the tension off, you can see that I've taken the tension off here. It's much easier to thread the plastic and flatten it out. So now we've got it threaded. Now we're retensioning it back up, tighten it up so it looks nice and doesn't blow around. So before we get to how we're gonna add some supplemental heat to this, this is the basic design. You can see the 4 clips in the front, or I don't know, 5. Those are going to stay all the time, but the 4 in the back will be undone when I need to open it up and tend and check and all that business. And then the sides, we still got to put some covers on there, but a lot of times during the day those sides will be down to keep things from getting too hot in there. And then at night, of course, we'll close them up. Let's look at the back here, so just so you can get an idea of how that plastic laid over. So again, it's both layers of that top plastic are clipped to the top, and then in a couple places I just have some extra cement blocks you could use. Probably more convenient would be a long board or something that lays there just to keep that tail from flapping. All right, now I'm going to open it up and show you what that looks like. Okay, so it takes about 30 seconds to remove, and that's what it looks like. All that plastic sheeting just pulls forward, stays clipped on that front edge, and then when we're done, we pull it back over, clip it to the back wire, and tuck something so that the wind doesn't flap. And I think actually it'll be another video where I talk about the heating system, but just it involves either de-icing cable or some kind of a heated water bath. Both parts, you know, under 20 bucks if you don't already have something that you can use, either an aquarium heater or, like I said, de-icing cable that's self-regulating or that hooks to a good temperature regulator. I'll link to the one I've used for all kinds of projects, which I can't find right now, but I'll be using it once I find it in my junk shed. And then also some kind of thermal mass, so probably this one will be some full milk jugs in the back there.
Can you watch?